Sup gamers, it's your boy Modern Dude. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. So this is my spoiler review of Avengers Endgame. So if you guys can't hear it, I'm gonna say a little bit louder. It's got spoilers, spoilers. Okay, there's spoilers here. So let's get right into it. So the movie begins with Hawkeye's family vanished. Like he was hanging out with them, and then the snap got him. And trying to remember, it's still fresh in my mind, but I should have not put. I just spent 7 minutes posting the video, which I shouldn't have done. I should have just posted my other video. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just stopped it and then recorded it so it's still fresh in my mind. That's still pretty fresh. So then we move on to where Tony is, and he's hanging out with what's her name again? It's Gamora's sister. How did I forget? Nebula. It's Nebula. Yes. So she's hanging out with Nebula, and she's playing with Tony. She's playing on a finger football with Tony Stark, and she beats him at it. And she's kind of like, oh, I've never, since she's never won, she has a new feeling to her, and she really enjoyed it. So that was kind of cute to see. And then they, okay, yeah, this is a big bomb, but I'm sure most of you guys have already seen it. They kill Thanos right in the beginning. He's dead. He's gone. They killed him. Also, they came all in. Captain Marvel was pretty big in killing him in the beginning, but he is back later in the film. So she does she's holding him down basically, but it's Thor who comes and chops off his hand with the gauntlet, and the stones are gone. So what Thanos did is he destroyed the stones, so that way it could not be reversed. Which I'm just like, so he knew that they were going to try and come for him and reverse it, so that's why he knew what he did. He did what he had to do. So he's now really messed up on one side of his face. It scarred him, and then Thor, he goes for the head, and he chops it off. So then basically, another thing, this is the best time travel film ever I've seen. This is definitely my favorite time travel film. It's really good. So many sad deaths. Oh, it really hits you hard. My man tears were coming up. They were coming up hard. Oh, it was so sad. But it was so good at the same time. So then anyways, let's move on to the next part. So basically, so now, so Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson, I can tell you right now, she was almost a good character. She was alright. She was not woke or anything. And War Machine put her on her spot where he said, where have you been for the past 24 years? And then she doesn't really have an excuse for it, because she's like, well, what she says, she's like, well, there are a bunch of other worlds, and I was looking for Fury or something. I'm just like, what? But, Captain Marvel, again, probably the worst MCU film. I haven't seen it. One more thing before I get more deep into my review. I will be giving you guys my ranking of the MCU films. Every single one of them. I haven't seen a lot of them recently, so I'm basically going up. I haven't seen a few of them in a while. And I'm not just going to rewatch all of them, so I'll give you guys my thoughts on how I feel settled with it as of right now. So, yeah. So then Tony gets saved by Captain Marvel, of course. But honestly, I was kind of alright with that, because, I still trusted the Russo brothers. And she saves him. Then Tony goes to Cap and says he lost the kid. And that's when it started to happen for me with my man tears. I'm just like, flashbacks. And then, he starts yelling, and then he's basically almost dead, because he's skinny, starved. And so it's and then what else? And then Natasha's trying to look for Barton, Clint, and he says he's become Ronin like he was in the comics. He's been going off killing people because he lost his family. He lost everything. Like I said in the trailer, we lost friends, we lost family, we lost everything. Basically, all the stuff that the Russo brothers said, they created fake footage. Pretty much everything that were in the trailers were kind of basically in this movie. Same lines, I think different settings, but those lines were still in the movie. The best part was when Tony Stark said to Cap, "Do you trust me?" And he said, "I do." And there was a perfect send-off. And the other thing is that Thanos, you gotta see how powerful he was without the gauntlet. That boy was overpowered. Without the gauntlet, oh, he was so overpowered. And then, let's see. Thor is fat in this film. Well, that was new. But and then Thor, this is something awesome. Thor can lift Thor's hammer just like he can in the comics, and it was such a great moment. Then the scene I was talking about in my spoiler-free review is the part I was kind of mixed on and why I couldn't give it like a full, basically like 10 out of 10. Is that there was a scene that was kind of mixed on, like, you know, in Infinity War where that one lady says, you know, you're gonna die alone, and then the 3 women come up and say she's not alone. Now I felt, see, the thing is, it kind of feels forced, but at the same time it doesn't. And they had something very similar to that in this movie in Endgame. Like basically that's the same one, both more female characters. Now I don't want to say it was. It kind of felt, it did feel forced, but it also kind of didn't at the exact same time. So that's why I'm really mixed on that. And then the time when I said there were a few times where Captain Marvel almost killed Thanos, but I can tell you guys, these were my favorite parts of the movie. He beats the crap out of her without the gauntlet, and she was still struggling against him. That's what I like to see. That's what I can respect, because she didn't deserve to take him down. You want to know who did? You want to know who did take him down? Iron Man. He did the best thing. He said like the best thing ever. So he got the stones. He stole them from Thanos when he was about to do a snap where he said, "I am inevitable." Can't say that word. I'm sorry. And he snapped, but it didn't work. So then what Tony Stark does is he had them. He got them, and he says, "I am Iron Man," and he snaps, and it was the best thing I've ever seen. But then, you know, he dies, and then they have a really sad moment, and I can't tell you guys how much I was so, like, in Infinity War when he was stabbed, I was so scared he was gonna die, and he did die, and he had a daughter, Morgan. It was so sad. It's like I wanted them to bring him back so bad, but you know, they're kind of done. Thor lived, so I think Chris Hemsworth is still gonna be in the MCU. Hulk lived. Hawkeye did. Probably the saddest moment for there were these moments were so sad. Captain America just goes back in time and stays with I forget Peggy, and what, so yeah, and he comes back as an old man and he gives his shield to Falcon, and that's just what it happens in the comics. I think it was originally Bucky he gave it to, but in this one Bucky says, like, you know, he gives him the nod, just like, yeah, you're Captain America now, and then Falcon said, I'm gonna do what I can to, like, you know, respect it and be Captain America, and that's what I like to see. It's sad though that the MCU's going woke, because with so many opportunities like this, it's just sad. And the other thing is Thanos, he gets dusted. He has like a death scene just like Spider-Man, except he's not crying. He's just like sits there and like knowing he lost. Oh, it was so good. And man, and then when Black Widow died, that was really sad. I was so sad because there's a Black Widow movie in the works, but you know they can't really bring her back because Banner said he tried and that he couldn't. And that was so sad, 'cause I'm just like, no, I was sad that it was going to be Hawkeye, and I didn't want either one of them to. And I don't know, it's like, in some ways, it kind of, like, because I want a Hawkeye movie, but I also want a Black Widow movie with Scarlett Johansson, and now I'm only getting one of those, really. It was just so sad. This film was phenomenal. And then the final scene at the end, where all the heroes are back and Doctor Strange portals them in, it was great. Tony and Spider-Man had a great moment, 2 of them. It was so good. Guys, go see this movie. Again, I'm giving it a 99.9% out of 100. That's my score. You guys may think differently, but that's my score. What else? There's something else I can... spoilers. What else is there I can talk about? Man, Hawkeye as Ronin, man, he just goes to town on people. Dang, he was basically Wolverine. That boy was like everywhere, nowhere at the same time. Guys, please go see this movie. It was so good, and it's just it's worth the ticket. I got to see it in 3D and a big screen for only $8.50. I paid really cheap in where I live. That's not exactly something that comes it's not usually normal. And I saw it. The theater actually wasn't that crowded, but I did see it like at 3 o'clock. So people were like just getting out of work, and so I just saw it early, got out and all that. Guys, go see this movie, please. It's so good, and I'm so sad that this is basically the end of the MCU. And then, at the end of the credits, each original Avenger got like when they were showing their names, got their own like little signatures thing that they drew that was silver, and it was so cool. I'm just like, yes, the Russo brothers knew we were here for the original 6, not these new characters. We were here for the ones we loved, not Captain Marvel. Man, I can probably tell you the SJWs are probably crying. It's like, no, Thanos beat a woman. He threw a woman into a rock. That's sexist. That's misogynistic. No, it was awesome and it's like, and in some ways, like it's like because she was a better character in this film. In some ways, I would have been like, you know what? I don't mind her helping out the Avengers, but also the best, like, the final act when it started, Brie Larson, Captain Marvel wasn't there at first. Then she just, like, they just start firing at her through the ship, and I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be Captain Marvel, and she just comes and basically tears apart Thanos' ship, and I'm just like, it's kind of hard to feel a little threatened by that, but at the same time, just like, yeah, it makes sense, and she didn't come in to save the day. They were gonna, I can tell you, they were gonna win with, like, even with Captain Marvel there, they were still losing. And Thanos didn't even have the gauntlet. Like, he wasn't even using any of the stones. He only got to use, like, the Power Stone, I believe. This movie was so good. Guys, go see it. This has been my spoiler review. There's nothing really more I can spoil. A lot of great moments when Tony Stark was dead. I really felt sad. It was a phenomenal film. Go see it. It is well worth the price of admission. Please go see this movie. Again, like I said in my spoiler-free review, it's just so. What was I gonna say? It's the best superhero film I've seen. It's so good, perfect, everything you want in a superhero film. They did make Fortnite jokes, and that was kind of funny. It kind of did make it feel like it would be dated, but at the same time, it's like they also had a dab in there. So it doesn't make it necessarily dated. It's just like, considering that, because Banner was the one that dabbed. Oh, sorry if you guys hear that. That's my dog. Was the one that dabbed, and it kind of, since he's an older dude, it kind of makes sense because you can say like he's behind the times and all that. So this film was so good. Go see it. I can't really stop praising it. I was scared Thanos wasn't going to be in it at all, but then I realized, then when he got back in, I'm just like, yes, they knew what we were here for. They gave us it. It was so good. Everyone got their moment in the spotlight. Spider-Man got the most love, because, we all love Spider-Man. He deserves the most love. And it was so sad watching these characters for 10 years. So this is the thing. The series began with Iron Man, and it ended with him. And, and that's how it should be. Guys, this movie is phenomenal. One of the best movies I've ever seen. Go see it. I'm done rambling on about this film. There's really no other spoiler I can really talk about. Them going into the quantum realm, that was really cool, and them going back into time and trying to avoid each other. There were a lot of great moments. I just don't want to spoil, like, even though this is a spoiler review, and you guys have already seen the movie, I don't know, it's just... Oh, sorry if you guys heard that honk. I'm in my car. I had to get in my car for a minute because my house is so echoey. This just kind of cushions it a little bit. Anyways, I can't really talk about anything else because I can't really think of really anything else. The time traveling stuff was great. Scott Lang coming back in and telling and oh yeah, that's another thing. Hulk. I mean, they did what they did in the comics with Hulk and Banner. So that they're now one. They can now stay together, and they're nice, and they're nice to each other now. That was great to see. Everyone got a lot of love. It was so good. Go see it. 99.9% out of 100. Go see it. It's good. This has been my spoiler review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys. Oh yeah, one more thing. My ranking of the MCU films coming tomorrow or Thursday. So be prepared for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Go see Endgame, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.